First, hook the turtle's upper shell. Put the thread on your hand first. It's a loop of 6 short needles, and then go around the middle finger. Use the thick end of the crochet hook, which is the 2.0 end. Go inside the loop. Take the hook out. Then wind the wire and hook the small circle above. Then thread it through the loop and draw it out. Wind the wire and hook the top coil. This makes the first short stitch. Take out the marker. Put it on the first short pin. I'm gonna hook 6 of them into the big circle. Pull out the second short needle. You can count its sides. Check 6 and then tighten. Put it away on the first lap. Remove the marker buckle. On the pin that you just made the mark on, put the back end of the thread into the crochet hook. Hook a drawing pin. Put it end to end. Pull it out through all the coils on the needle. And then pull the needle that you just pulled down. That's the V behind the coil on the needle. Just make it smaller. And hook a standing pin. The second round is 6 short pins and needles. Pull the first stitch inside the eye. Hook the first short stitch and add a stitch. Hook up the first short pin. First, fasten the mark buckle. Then thread another short needle into the same eye. This is a short stitch and a stitch. The next stitch is still 2 short stitches. Two hooks in the same stitch. When you hook this coil on the needle, don't pick too loose. And don't pull it too tight. Pick it loose. There will be large gaps in the work. If you pull it really tight, it will cause the next circle of stitches to be small and difficult to thread. Stir it up a little bit. Just let the crochet hook move freely in there. You can count the stitches at the end of the loop. There are sharp stitches in the second loop. Count from a V behind the 1 coil above the crochet hook. Here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 90. 1112 counting to the first pin of the marker buckle is sharp. This circle is right. Now for the last shot. Distance from the position of the first pin buckle. With the tiny needles in the middle. I was the lead in the stand we pulled on the first lap. Those 2 stitches are not hooked or threaded, so just skip it. Take the marker off and then pull the connection. The second lap is done. The third round is a short pin and a plus pin. Hook a standing pin for each new loop. You can also pull the needle small. Buckle the markers at the beginning of each lap. It's easy for a novice to come back from a loop and not find the first stitch. So don't forget to snap it when you hook it. There are 6 groups to check. Row sensor hooks in the first pinpole connection. Pull the drawing needle tightly, so the third lap is complete. Then the fourth lap is set of 6. XDX is a group of short needle plus needle and short needle. There are 6 groups to check. Start the short stitch of the first stitch. Put the needle in the draw. The first short pin on the marker buckle. There are 6 groups to check. The second set of short needles. After the hook is finished, you can count the stitches in your circle. You can count from the first stitch of the button mark. 1、2.3.4.5.6、7.8.9.1011.12.13.14、15.16.17.18.19.20、21.2.23.24 There are 24 stitches in this circle. Count to a V at the back of the crochet hook. Here, if you don't have enough needles, just check to see if you've made a mistake and come back and try again. If the needle is hooked the wrong way, it affects the shape that follows. Finish the last stitch to connect with the first pin draw. Hook it and pull the needle down. Round 5 is 24 short pins. Just hook a short needle into each stitch. Mark the first one. All the way through the circle. Round 6 is a set of 6 IXV, which is 3 short pins and 1 plus pin. Hook local loop. The third and then the other. So that's a group. Tighten the connection with the first pin. The seventh round is 30 short pins. Over the draw stand and the first pin draw. Round 8 is 12 short pins. To subtracting stitches are for short stitches. There are a total of 28 stitches. Start with 12 short stitches. And then to reduction pins. Pick half of the needle in the next stitch, from the sides to the middle, and then the next stitch goes right through the middle of him. Pick the half point and cross the 2 stitches. Then wind the thread through the 2 coils on the needle. This is a reducer. Combine 2 stitches into 1 stitch. To reduction hook followed by 14 short stitches. The ninth is the outside half. 28 short pins in the lock pin. 先看一下它的外半针. This is the way to distinguish. Inside the shell is its interior. The outside of the shell is its outer front. Round by round thread. What's clear is the outside stitch. The half near the inside is the inner half. The half near the outside is the outer half. We'll just pick the outer half of it for the next round. The first needle to be drawn is also the outer half. Hook a short pin, and then a lock pin. The next stitch is still on the side of the needle. Hook over. A short pin in the lock pin. A short pin in the lock pin. A total of 28 checks. That is to hook to the end of the empty to do not hook on the line. Hook until the last empty to stitches do not hook. Leave a long line when you're done. Cut the thread. Pick it out here. I'm gonna hook up the upper shell. The first 4 circles of the lower shell. It's the same hook as the upper shell. I'm not going to repeat it. Look at the 5th circle. 5 laps are 3 sets of 7 short stitches and E plus stitch. Start with 7 short stitches. The first short pin on the mark buckle. 1 plus pen. Second set first short stitch. The first pin draws the connection. Hook a standing pin. Leave the long line and break the line. Pick out the thread. Hook the top and bottom shells and set them aside. Let's hook up his head and limbs and put them together. With white thread. His head is looped with 6 short needles.第一个短针上做记号。Hook 6 and tighten him up. Remove the marker. Come and draw the first needle. Stand up. Put the back end of the thread on the crochet hook. The second round is 6 short pins and needles. Each turn, make a mark on the first stitch. There are 12 stitches in the first circle. 1点、2点、3点、4点、5点、6、7点、8点、9点、10点、11点、12。Third turn after the pull. 1 short stitch and 1 extra stitch. It's the same as the first 4 circles of the shell. The fourth lap is short and short. Lap 5 and 6 are done. Turn it over. Face out. The seventh lap is for sets of 5 short E plus pin. Then there are 28 short pins on laps 8 and 9. Hook to short needles and hook R turns for each stitch. Lap 10 is for sets of 5 short cuts. Then a reduction stitch. Pick up half of the ends of both needles. Draw over. Connect with the first pin draw. She turns is 24 short pins. The sharp lap consists of 4 groups of short and shortened ones. Hook the pole and stand up. The 13th lap is 3 short and 1 cut. Finish the 13th hook and pick the line long. Put some cotton in there. Put in the cotton and finish the rest of the hooks. Shisi laps is a shortened set. There are 4 groups. One reducer. Then the first needle draws. Draw and hook a standing pin. Next came lap 15. Last lap. First hook 3 inner half stitches. Change the needle here. Change it to the one with the smaller head. Because the first inner half of the pinhole is smaller, it is better to hook with a small head. The inner half stitch is the half of the crochet stitch, coming through the middle of the needle. Pick the other inside half and hook a short needle. First hook the coil up. Now let's stick with the big head. This first stitch is not a good hook. Then you can make a mark. The next one is the half of it. The third stitch is still in half. And then 6 full stitches. Finish 6 full stitches. And 7.5 stitches. Hook it over here. Then leave a long line. Hook the head and set it aside to hook his limbs. Loop 6 short needles. A short needle is marked with a buckle.